Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. I hope you're all doing well today. We've got a news story today concerning Intel and their future discrete GPU called Arctic Sound. If you remember that name at all, we talked about it just back in January when a rumor had come about discussing Arctic Sound and then the following architecture after that called Jupiter Sound, which would be discrete GPUs from Intel, which were originally thought to just be for video streaming in data centers and things along those lines. But now it looks like they are going after directly competing with the likes of AMD and NVIDIA for discrete gaming graphics cards for desktops as well as notebooks. This originally comes from Ashraf Iyasa from The Motley Fool. He's a tech journalist over there who commentates on stocks in the tech industry and those types of things. And he was actually the original source of the rumor back in January as well, concerning Arctic and Jupiter Sound. So Ashraf Iyasa has this to say. He says, apparently Raja on the Edge, which is Raja Koduri, formerly of AMD, now working for Intel. He says, Raja on the Edge is redefining Arctic Sound, Intel's first discrete GPU, which is actually not their first discrete GPU, but it's certainly their first one in quite a while. He says it was originally targeted for video streaming apps in data center, but now being split into two. The video streaming stuff and gaming apparently wants to enter the market with a bang. So that's it from Ashraf Iyasa. That's all he has to say. So we're going to discuss that and kind of go and take a look at some of the crumbs that has been left behind by Intel and talk about why this is a very good likelihood that it will be happening in the future. First off, we could just go right over to the Intel jobs listing website, and just by putting in the term graphics, you could see that there are literally dozens and dozens of different job listings for graphics engineers and software engineers and things like that. So many different job listings just concerning with graphics over on the Intel website. Currently 102 listed actually for the Intel job listings. And I clicked into one here for a graphics performance architect. And looking in this, if you look at what the responsibilities of the individual hired will be required to do, this line right here I found to be particularly interesting. It says, you will assess the performance and efficiency of our new capabilities versus our previous products and versus our competition on a range of 3D graphics workloads from benchmarks and real game scenes using various API, OpenGL, Microsoft DirectX, Apple Metal, and Vulkan. So Intel is very specifically hiring people in the graphics industry to focus on benchmark and game performance on popular APIs in the games that we play, like DirectX, Vulkan, and things like that. And they're looking to compete with, well, their competitors. That's generally who you compete with, isn't it? And in this current space, that would be AMD, who doesn't really have a whole lot on the docket over the next few years except for Navi, and NVIDIA, who just kind of almost have a monopoly at this point on the market. So Intel is, I honestly consider them to be a welcome contender into this space, because we need someone to compete with NVIDIA, because right now AMD is not really doing it, and it seems like they're in complete disarray after the departure of Raja Koduri, who was heading the Radeon Technologies group all the way up until the launch of Vega, after he left right after that, saying that it was just for a sabbatical before he got repositioned in the company. And then just a few months after, here he comes up working for Intel, and now they're pushing into all these different areas, working on dedicated graphics, and now apparently for the gaming space as well. So let me know your thoughts on that. You know, Intel GPUs, do you think that'll really help us? It does make a lot of sense that Intel would want to get into the discrete GPU space, because ever since CUDA came on the scene about a decade ago, it's made a lot of strides in different areas like 3D rendering, artificial intelligence, machine learning, self-driving cars, all of that kind of stuff, and Intel doesn't really have a dog in that race right now, so them wanting to go after the GPU space where CPUs aren't being used as much anymore for those types of things would make a lot of sense for why Intel might want to get in the discrete GPU space, and also just to provide some competition and try to pick up some more market share in different areas that they're not focusing on as much right now. And another interesting development that's just happened in the last 24 hours is that Chris Hook has left AMD, and he worked in the Radeon Technologies group just like Raja Koduri. So he has now left AMD. He hasn't announced yet what he will be doing, although he said he will be starting a new position by the end of April, and he'll have an announcement in the coming days and weeks as to what that position will actually be. And he was a huge player in the Radeon Technologies group, and I'm going to go ahead and hypothesize right now that Chris Hook is leaving AMD to go join Raja Koduri, his old buddy, over at Intel. If you read in his post that he put up on Facebook, he says, "The most rewarding experience I had at AMD was reigniting Radeon over the past couple of years with Radeon Technologies Group, growing its market share from high teens to low 30s and achieving a record revenue quarter last year." So clearly his time with the Radeon Technologies Group, working closely with Raja Koduri, has been the most rewarding experience he's had when he worked for AMD. So why wouldn't he want to pick that up and continue it over at Intel, especially with AMD failing so hard right now in the graphics space? I mean, they've got a great thing going with Ryzen and everything, and they've really disrupted things against Intel, but compared to what they're doing against NVIDIA, it's not even close. And then we've got the GeForce Partner Program. You know, maybe NVIDIA already, kind of saw this coming, and that's kind of why the GeForce Partner Program may have come about to begin with, because they very well, by the year 2020, might not be competing with just AMD, who has been trailing behind them for so many years. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on everything we discussed here in this video. Intel coming in as a possible third competitor in the market for discrete GPUs on the desktop as well as notebooks. Do you think Chris Hook is leaving AMD to join his buddy Raja over at Intel? Let's discuss down in the comments below as always. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to leave a like on it down below and subscribe if you're not already. And if you have been here for a while, don't forget to hit the notification bell and join the squad so you never miss a moment of content here on the channel. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace out for now. Or ta-ra, whatever you prefer to say, really.